we're going to get to Joe Biden's awful speech last night. So he comes on air at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. If they could have pushed him to November 6th, they would have. They were like, we don't want anyone seeing this guy. We don't want him here. We don't want him seen, which is why immediately afterward, they shoveled him back into the crypt and then took that crypt and shoved it into the belly of Air Force One and shipped him off to California. Remember, Joe Biden's daily schedule he is shut down by 8 p.m. So by the time they got to 11:30 p.m., Joe Biden was physically dead. They had to put him in the back room and take out the shock paddles, and they had to shock him back into life. And he went out there looking like that. And it was not great, Bob. It was really, really not great. So he comes out, and the crowd starts chanting, "Thank you, Joe." And what they mean by thank you, Joe, is thank you so much for leaving. Thank you so much for going away. Here we go.
That was my daughter.
Yeah, it was. How about your granddaughter? You still don't acknowledge her, so that's yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, for leaving. Thank you. Thank you for going away. He has never been more popular than when he gave it up. There's a hysterical person. I love that. I do love it. I love that they're all like, thank you, Joe, for going away. Thank you, Joe, for going and dying somewhere. Not here. Get out. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. By the way, I'm totally going to do that at dinner parties. Like if I want someone to leave, I'm just going to walk up to them and be like, thank you, Bob. Be like, for what? Like, for thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Is that like show? It's just amazing. It's just, and it's what he so richly deserves. What a corrupt, terrible person. Hey, so in his speech, he suggests democracy has prevailed. By democracy has prevailed, he means that he won every single primary vote, and then he was shoved out of his nomination for a lady who won 0 primary votes, which is how we do democracy typically, is where there's no voting, obviously, and where you just supplant one candidate for another. Sounds like democracy has triumphed, Joe.
And with a grateful heart, I stand before you now on this August night to report that democracy has prevailed.
Yeah! By showing me the door. Bye.
Democracy.
We love it.
Democracy has delivered.
No one voted for Kamala.
Democracy must be preserved.
And then he started rehashing his terrible Philadelphia speech in which he declared that half the country were traitors to the country. Then he started bragging about his record. And he was like, we did an amazing job, which is why you can't wait to open this trapdoor underneath me and feed me to the crocodiles. Yeah.
I made a commitment to you that I be a president for all Americans.
Yeah, fail.
Whether you voted for me or not. We have done that. Studies show the major bills we have passed actually delivered more to red states than blue. Because the job of the president is to deliver to all of America.
Okay, it'll be okay,
because of you. And I'm not exaggerating, because of you, we've had one of the most extraordinary 4 years of progress ever, period.
Well, that's why you were going to lose to Donald Trump until they legitimately offed you. So the question of 2024, how gullible are you? Well, if you're not that gullible, maybe you should change your cell phone service. There's only one cell phone company that gives you free premium access to the media you actually care about. It's Pure Talk. This might be the best offer Pure Talk has ever come out with. Listen to this. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk on a qualifying plan, you'll get a free 1-year insider subscription to Daily Wire Plus. That's right. Take advantage of unlimited talk, unlimited text, 15 gigs of data, and mobile hotspot on America's most dependable 5G network for just $35 a month. And you'll get 1 year free of Daily Wire Plus, which is a great deal. The Daily Wire Plus Insider Plan gets you access to our entire library of movies, series, and documentaries, including Lady Ballers, What is a Woman, Mr. Bertram, Run, Hide, Fight, and more. Plus, you get all our daily shows uncensored and ad-free. The only way you can get this special offer is by going to puretalk.com/Shapiro. I've been telling you to stop overpaying for your cell phone plan for a very long time. If you haven't yet made the switch to Pure Talk, now would be the time. Go to puretalk.com/Shapiro today, switch to a qualifying plan, get 1 year free of Daily Wire Plus Insider. Again, that's puretalk.com/Shapiro today. Don't be as gullible as all those people at the DNC last night. Go to puretalk.com/Shapiro. But it wouldn't be a complete Joe Biden speech without recapitulating the very fine people hoax. Okay, this has been debunked now by everyone, including Snopes. This lie that Donald Trump said back in 2017, that there were very fine people, not on both sides of the Confederate statue controversy, very fine people who were white supremacists. Donald Trump never said that. He condemned the neo-Nazis. He condemned the white supremacists. They've been running on this crap ever since. But what's amazing about this particular speech is that Joe Biden recapitulates the very fine people hoax. And in almost the next breath, he then says that the neo-Nazi pro-Hamasers outside have a great point. The anti-Semites, they're inside the House. They're calling from within the Democratic Party House. Here's Joe Biden once again doing the very fine people hoax.
The president was asked what he thought had happened. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "There are very fine people on both sides. My God."
My God. He's lying. That is not what he said.
That is what he said and what he meant.
He's a liar. It's not true. But you know who just said that there are very fine people on both sides? Joe Biden. And here he is talking about the terrorist group Hamas, and he is talking about the Israelis. He's talking about the people who are setting up tentifadas outside the convention center and calling for Hamas and Hezbollah, actual terrorist groups, to win, and who are calling Jews pigs. Those people have a point, says Joe Biden. By the way, this was not in his script. It was not in his script. He literally went off script to say this.
A few days ago, I put forward a proposal that brought us closer to doing that than we've done since October 7th. We're working around the clock, my Secretary of State, to prevent a wider war and reunite hostages with their families and surge humanitarian health and food assistance into Gaza now. To end the civilian suffering of the Palestinian people, and finally deliver a ceasefire and end this war.
Pounding the podium in this war. Hamas is rejecting the ceasefire. Hamas is stealing the humanitarian aid. But he has to please the Hamasers.
Those protesters out in the street, they have a point. A lot of innocent people are being killed on both sides.
What a trashy human being. Truly trashy. At no point does he say, and the Palestinians who are being killed, that's because Hamas launched the worst terror attack on Jews since World War II, refuses to surrender, and is currently holding babies hostage. You want to talk about somebody who does a very fine people on both sides? Joe Biden, because his party is filled with either morally corrupt human beings or cowards or both. Truly pathetic stuff. He spoke for 48 minutes last night. Just kept going and going. The ongoing battle of Joe Biden with the teleprompter, that continued. He committed last night to strengthening illegal immigration, which is exciting.
Kamala and I are committed to strengthening legal immigration.
I'm glad that he's ready to strengthen illegal immigration. That's great. So he went on and on and on and on. He broke after midnight. It was quite terrible. And then he left. Out. Because Democrats don't want to see him ever again. Ever again. Now, he's still the sitting president of the United States. That's the part that's hilarious. Somebody should ask Kamala Harris why she thinks that Joe Biden is fit to be president of the United States. She is the vice president of the United States. She could invoke the 25th Amendment at any time. She could take over his office. She will not do so. Why? Does she believe that the protesters have a very fine point? What does she believe? No one's ever going to ask her that question. We're on day 31 of nobody asking her that question. But again, it's all lies, top to bottom, thoroughgoing lies. Lies and lies and more lies. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.